Welcome to the Bill Cartwright Show. Our special guest today is our USF Dons golf coach, Jack Kennedy. Jack, welcome to the show.
What's up, Bill? How we doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm very pleased. As you know, I do play golf. A lot of people do, and I play similar to them all over the place. But what we're going to do is just get to know you really quickly. Can you tell us a little bit about where you grew up? And also, I'd really love to know about your mom and dad.
Well, grew up in Tucson, Arizona, born and raised. My mom was an admissions director at a high school in Tucson, St. Gregory High School. So went there for high school. Didn't have much of a choice when your mom can get you in as the admissions director. So that was nice. But yeah, small town, small school. My dad was a land developer, still is in Tucson. They still live out there. We go out to see them quite a bit and play a lot of golf with him. So yeah.
Can you talk about yourself and when you were in high school? Now, what kind of kid were you?
People still describe me as the class clown, and I think I still probably am around the office at USF as well. No, just a kid who loved to have fun. Sports were really all I knew growing up. Played every single sport you could imagine, just to keep me out of having to go to school. So, but played everything, and just loved sports. And that's kind of what got me into coaching after realizing that, my playing days were done. I still needed to be around it. And that's, kind of what fueled the coaching journey.
So, what sport did you play exactly? Give me your best one. Give me your best two sports that you played.
So, I'll tell people all the time, I was a 3-sport athlete. I played all 3 sports in college. I played soccer, basketball, and golf. Those were kind of my bread and butters. Basketball was obviously a true love of mine, but golf is one of those that you can play forever. And soccer just got to be the point, and sorry to all the soccer fans out there, it just got to be too boring. All that running to have a 1-0 or 0-0 game just didn't make much sense to me. So I chose one other slow, boring sport, and that was golf. And I've just kind of stuck with that one.
I'll talk about yourself as you were exiting high school. What were you thinking, and where'd you end up? I know where you ended up.
Yeah, so I'm this is an embarrassing story to tell, I guess, if you want to look at it that way, but I was the first Kennedy male of probably 15 generations not to go to Yale University. So I was supposed to go to Yale. Their dormitories named after my middle name. That's the kind of legacy we've had at Yale, and I didn't get in, which kind of speaks to my academic prowess, I guess. And decided to kind of go to a smaller school route, and where I could play different sports, and can kind of continue what I was doing. So chose a little school out in the middle of Iowa called Grinnell College, and had a very good academic reputation, which kept my parents happy, but also gave me a chance where I could play soccer, basketball, and golf again, at the collegiate level, which was something I was really excited me. And then, the rest is history, and we can talk about the the fun stuff at Grinnell and what their basketball program was like. But that was the biggest thing for me, was getting an opportunity to play, be a big fish in a small pond, and then keep getting to do what I love to do, and that was playing all those sports.
Talk about Grinnell a little bit. I know about the school because you guys don't guard anybody, but you shoot like hell. Talk about that.
No, it's all the defensive basketball-minded coaches can now turn this podcast off, because we'll talk defense for a little while. But we were a small school out in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, and just kind of looking for a way to get ourselves on the map, from a basketball standpoint, and knew that we couldn't go up to places like, where your son went, Lake Forest College, and play with those guys. We were a bunch of, 5'10" white kids from the middle of Iowa that knew how to shoot the basketball, but couldn't guard our own shadows. So we played up and down style, just like LMU back in the day, and tried to score 130 points a game. But in order to do that, you had to give up 125. So I think for my entire 4-year career, I made it to the defensive side of half court twice. And I was yelled at both times for being on the wrong side of the court. So It was the time of my life. If you're ever into offensive basketball and how to score points, it's a dream come true. If you're a defensive guy, close your eyes and don't go to a game.
It is a fun, interesting system because it's so successful because so very few teams do it, and also you guys play a lot of guys, which is crazy. That substitution pattern.
Yeah,
I thought it was interesting.
It was big. I mean, it kept the real reason it started was to include people. I mean, they wanted to make sure that we weren't cutting guys and giving people an opportunity to play. And you can mask a lot of different things playing that fast. And we did it our way and didn't really worry about what anybody else did. And that's kind of refreshing in this day and age that you're not worrying about scouting opponents and we're going to do it our way and we're going to be better than you that night. And, that's what we think. And that was the way we did it.
Okay, so now you're about to leave Grinnell. What are you thinking, and what's your next step?
I mean, from the minute I got to Grinnell and was around, probably two of the greatest coaches I've been around. Dave Arsenault, who's our basketball coach and kind of the mastermind of the system, kind of took me under his wing the last couple of years when it really was pretty obvious that I wasn't going to play professionally and really wanted to stay in, athletics. And we talked about coaching and especially the basketball side of it and what that would look like. And, I couldn't skip any steps on the ladder. I had to go, get down and dirty and go be a graduate assistant and volunteer and be a manager and do it all from the very ground up. And so we kind of looked at sports management programs and ideas where I could get a master's, degree and then combine that into coaching. And, University of San Francisco popped up on the radar as we were doing some searches and their program was fairly new in terms of the sport management program. Was lucky enough to get in. Finally, my academic prowess, got it done, I guess.
Kicked in.
And then, quite honestly, got incredibly lucky over the last 12 years. I mean, the day I started the sport management program, USF got rid of their former basketball coach and Rex Walters was hired, 4 days into my grad program. Walked over, knocked on his door, said, I'll work for free. I'll do anything I need to do. A year later, I'm doing laundry and inventory and taking stats on the bench. And 7 years later, I was his assistant basketball coach. So, it was quite a journey there in between, but, that's kind of how the whole coaching gig started on the basketball side.
Hey, talk about who's the head of the sports management program and also talk about what you learned from Rexy.
The sport management program was amazing. I mean, you can get what you want out of a master's program. I mean, that's the beauty of a master's program versus an undergrad. Nobody's telling you exactly what to do. And so when I got to the sport management program, I knew coaching was exactly what I wanted to do. There was no athletic director. There was no sports agent like everybody else wanted. I just wanted to coach. And Rich Cellini, who is the guy in charge of all the internships, and he's, the Cal radio guy and a great personality, basically just kind of walked me through the steps of how to be a professional in the sports world, how to get your name on somebody's radar, because that's really the hardest thing is getting your foot in the door. Once you get your foot in the door, then it's up to you. How hard do you want to work? Do you want to be the guy that's in there late, or getting in early? Now that's your work ethic, but getting in the door was the hardest thing to do and still is the hardest thing to do, I think. And they did a great job of helping me provide that opportunity. And then just getting an opportunity to work with a guy like Rex was amazing. He's, still, I tell people all the time, it's the reason why I'm coaching today. There are some things that I learned from him that I don't do. I don't carry I don't yell and scream in the same way that he did, but he was, the organization and what he thought was really important and how he tried to push myself, his players, the administration, everybody to be at a high level was something that I'll always take from him, because you can't really settle for just being okay. That's going to get you in trouble in this world.
Talk about the best year that you had with Rexy, and then talk about your transition from there.
Yeah, we had some great years at USF. What people don't understand, we can talk about what's going on right now at USF, and Todd's doing just a phenomenal job. But, 13 years ago, we walked into the office at USF and there were no phones in the office. That's kind of where USF basketball was
Wow.
when Rex took over. And did a great job of kind of rebuilding it, and it took some time. But obviously making the NIT was a big step in the program. Trying to get back to even just a semblance of where USF basketball was back in your day, and even earlier than that. But obviously for whatever reason, Rex had Gonzaga's number. I think we beat them 3 straight times at USF, and always gave them problems on the road. So that just those memories and those moments of storming the court and having students really be excited about basketball was fun for us. And I think that's where it's getting back to today. But it's just been a long road into it. And then I was lucky enough, I got an opportunity to go to San Jose State for 1 year and work for Dave Wojcik there on the basketball side. And that's when I realized I needed to get married, and I was having a kid, and basketball coaching just that lifestyle wasn't for me anymore. And I was lucky enough that Scott Sidwell at USF gave me the golf opportunity, and I'm just trying to take that opportunity and run with it now.
What's your toughest challenge over there as the golf coach? Is that similar or is it totally different?
Totally different. I mean, there's some similarities, obviously. I mean, as I tell people, you're still dealing with 18 to 22-year-old kids, and whether they're making a 5-foot putt or a free throw, there's a lot of similarities in terms of how you're just helping them with the mental side of it and growing as a human being and as an athlete. But it's 2 totally different worlds. Golf is very subjective. Your score is what you are. It's basketball is a lot more potential, and there's a lot more variables involved. But it's golf has some the most difficult for me thing as a golf coach is dealing with the psyche of these players. You don't know what could set them off, and that's just all golfers really in general. What keeps them happy, what keeps them motivated, what keeps them confident. Those are the biggest things that I work with every day.
What do you think makes I know this is a really hard question. Give me 3 elements that make a great golfer.
Ooh, short-term memory is the biggest thing. Just understanding it's a shot-by-shot world, and you can't, focus on what just happened, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. The next shot's in front of you, and that's the most important thing. So, you can't put a price tag on confidence. We've got guys that might not have the best putting stroke in the world, but they know the putt's going in, and they truly believe that. And confidence is a huge motivator, or not motivator, but a huge characteristic that makes people great golfers. And then work ethic. Golf is a sport where it's about repetition, and you think you can take a day off and be right back to the golfer you were 2 days later. That just doesn't work that way. But finding a way to be consistent with your work ethic, whether that's, hitting balls every day, or, working on your core strength, or doing something from a mental standpoint, just staying in it, kind of daily, are the 3 biggest things that we look for, on the college level.
So what are we going to be excited about? Tell me about your guys.
I mean, USF golf right now is a phenomenal place. Coming off our best year in school history last year, had a great fall. A whole bunch of seconds and third place finishes for the team, which is kind of right where we wanted to be in the tournaments we're at. We're ranked number 29th in the country right now.
Nice.
Yeah, so have a great spring ahead of us. We head out to Arizona here in a couple days for a training camp before we start the University of Arizona's tournament. We're going to head out to Pinehurst this year to play Wake Forest, which is something we've never done before. Go down to ASU and challenge ourselves against the number 2 team in the country on their home course. So some really, really exciting things happening. And then just the things we normally do, get to play Stanford on their home course at the end of March, which is always great. Just for us, our biggest thing is we want to be known as a team that's at that level in the Bay Area, and want to compete with the best. And that's what our schedule is. And we've got 5 guys that are in the top 100 in the country, and all 5 of them honestly have a chance to be professional golfers 12 months from now. So just trying to capitalize on all that.
And who are those guys? What are their names?
Yeah, so first and foremost, Soren Lind is our 5th-year senior from Denmark, currently ranked, I think, number 60 or 70 in the country. I think he was scoring average somewhere around 70 in the fall. So, very, very solid guy. Has been a stalwart in our lineup for 5 years now. Toby Briggs, our other 5th-year senior from England, had just a great fall, including a 64 down in the Bahamas, which was very special to watch. Alex Chin, our other 5th-year graduate senior, just really, really rock solid, and kind of been in our lineup for 5 straight years now. Christopher Paulson, senior from Sweden. If you've ever seen a guy hit a ball 340 yards, if you've not seen a guy hit a ball 340 yards, come out and watch Chris hit one day, because he can just absolutely turn one over. And then Matt Anderson from Canada, our 4th-year senior. He has been really the one big variable in our team that's kind of turned us around in the last couple of years with his play, and really exciting for him. He's just decided to come back for a 5th year for us next year, which will make us even better. And then 2 new guys, Harry Brown from England and Param Sodai from California. So those guys are going to, hopefully get into our top 5, but those first 5 guys are really the guys that are going to take us where we need to go this year.
So awesome. Hey, talk about your family a little bit. You alluded to it earlier.
Yeah, no. So my wife, my wife Kelsey, she's a preschool teacher down here in Menlo Park area, and loves working with kids. And I guess we need more of those teachers right now. So we're very thankful that she's out there doing what she's doing. And then we have a 6-year-old daughter, Lucy, who keeps us very busy. She's the team assistant coach, loves coming to practice, loves keeping the guys in their place. And it's, for me as a dad with a daughter, it's fun having the guys come over and be around my family and watch them, interact with her. And for me, that's why we coach. These guys are extensions of our family, and my wife loves having them around. And we're actually going to be staying at our house down in Arizona for this training camp. So we're all one giant family down here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Jack, thank you so much for being on. Maybe at one point in time, when you're done having fun, maybe I need a little help.
What we can do is, I just got to talk to Todd. We'll have you be the special assistant to the golf team this semester as opposed to the basketball team, and let you have some more fun.
Yeah. Hey, I could do that. I could be versatile.
No, we'd love to have you on the course. Love to have you come talk to the guys. You know what it's like winning championships at USF, and that's what we're trying to do.
All right. Well, you guys are doing well. We're very excited.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it.